everybody, Boone Wyatt with the 323 Concept Furniture Restoration here. Thank y'all for watching our video today. You're watching the 323 vlog, and today we are looking at a Loveseat that a customer brought in. Obviously, we've already removed the back pillows, but he brought this Loveseat in because the arm is extremely loose. I wanted to document this because this is this used to be an issue that I saw all the time when I was working for a bigger furniture company doing repairs. A lot of the times these arms get a lot of, people leaning on them or kids sitting on them or jumping on them, whatever it may be. One reason or another, they usually have a frame break inside and are loose. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this repair, and we're going to see what exactly is causing this to be loose, and then how do we go about repairing that. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, to get started, we're just going to start by removing all the staples that we can right in this area. If you wiggle it, you can sort of see that the break is right here on this edge. So, the main thing to do if you're tackling a repair, you've never done it before, is just try to expose that area that where there's an obvious break. So, handy tool you're going to want for something like this. Maybe not if you're just doing a one-time thing. You might be able to get by with a flathead screwdriver, but this is an Osborne staple remover. It's got two sharp edges on it. It's great for getting in there and gouging out the staples. So we're gonna start by removing all the staples. We're gonna get this dust cover out of the way, and then we're gonna remove the staples for the fabric on the arm casing, and then a little bit of the seat decking material as well. So without further ado, let's do that and sort of see what we're looking at after we get that done. All right, so we've got the area exposed. You can see this big old crack in the frame right here. That's what's causing that to be loose. You could go about this a couple different ways. If you're just looking to get by for a little bit, you might be able to get away with doing a little brace over the back here, covered up with some dust cover material, and be done with it. I'm gonna do this the right way, or probably I don't want to say the right way, but I want to do this the most proper way I know how, which if you see this, it looks like they've made this whole piece of plywood that goes up the back side of the arm and across the back side of the frame, all one piece. So that being said, I'll remove the rest of these staples and expose this piece, and then I'm gonna have to do the same thing for the arm here, and that'll take me just a little bit because that's a lot of staples. But if you look back, I'll remove all of these going around the bottom edge, a little bit on the front, and we're gonna need to pull off the arm casing to expose this piece of plywood on the back side. And once we do that, we'll remove that piece. I'll probably use my oscillating tool, cut it loose, and then we'll put it on a new piece of plywood and mark it, cut it, and reinstall it. So that being said, let's get the rest of these staples pulled and see what we're looking at. Okay, so we got the fabric removed from this piece. So if we look closely, we see that they've basically used a bunch of staples going around into the side of the frame, all the way around. So that being said, I'm gonna take my oscillating tool that cuts through metal. and I'm gonna go through to just sort of cut all those staples loose, get them out of the way, and once I do that, this should just pull right loose. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the back piece. These that have the dust cover, you probably saw that, but I just sort of pop those loose. The dust cover is hardly held in by those staples. It doesn't create any issues, just sort of popping that loose. Just do it carefully. If it's giving you issues, use your staple remover just to be safe so you don't rip it. But other than that, it usually just pops right off. And we'll go from there. But I'm gonna pull the rest of the staples on here and cut all this loose. All right, so we've got our new piece installed. Everything feels very secure. As you saw, I always go back with screws and glue. The manufacturers that they come from, half the problem comes from them using no glue or very little glue, and all they do is staple the heck out of it. So that's where 90% of the problems come from, probably, is just cheaping out on how they're assembling. So anyways, I go back with screws and glues. I haven't had one come back to me, thankfully. Just make sure you do it right when you, I mean, if you're going through the trouble to expose all this and uncover it, you know, cutting out the right part and using screws and glues is, you know, not the bulk of time that goes into a project like this. It's uncovering the issue and then just sort of figuring out what it is. Once you get there, the fix is usually easy. When I started out as a furniture technician, I realized pretty quick, you know, 90% of the battle and overcoming just the fear of it is just exploring the product a little bit, uncovering the issue, exposing the framework, seeing how it's made, and then you just get a better idea of what you're looking at and the issues that you know, create, you know, some of the trouble that we encounter on these pieces of furniture. So I hope this helps. We're gonna put this back together and then we'll recap at the end. Thanks. that concludes our video for today. As you saw, it wasn't a super difficult repair. As I said earlier, a lot of it is just getting that courage to uncover the issue. Just whipping out just pulling out the staple remover, removing all those staples and looking at the frame. And a lot of the times the issues are really evident. You know, it's not super hard to find. At least this one wasn't. So I hope this encourages you to maybe tackle a project like this. If you've got a loose recliner arm, 9 times out of 10, when somebody says they have a loose recliner arm, that's the issue I used to see on the road all the time. So I hope this helps. If you got any questions, feel free to comment below. We try to respond to everything. I hope y'all liked the video. If it brought value to you, feel free to hit that like button and share it with your friends. Feel free to hit the notification bell as well and subscribe to the channel if you want to receive future video updates. We try to put them out as often as we can. If you got any suggestions for future videos, we'd love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.